Hey everyone, so this is Catfish, Bryn and Stephanie. So Bryn is 23. Oh no, you know what? First, let me just say I fucking knew it. I just knew it. Like, I knew it. Um, anyway, so Bryn is 23, lives in South Carolina. He met Stephanie, who lives in Washington State, is 22. And he met her through a mutual friend. She's apparently a traveling nurse. And as per usual, she's amazing and yada yada yada. And as per usual, she doesn't want to FaceTime, but she was willing to talk on the phone. Get him on the Zoom call, explains his friend Isaac um, is the mutual friend who they have in common. Um, Him and Isaac were friends on TikTok and Snapchat or something like that. And he reveals that whenever Stephanie calls, her number comes up as a blocked number always. Um, and the phone she's using is a work phone, which can't send or receive photos or something like that. The only photos he has are ones Isaac sent him. And I'm like, child, like Brian, sweetie, you good looking, but damn, you're bringing down the whole curve in the entire nation. Because it's like, if isn't the earmarks of Isaac being the one behind the Stephanie, I don't know what is. Because it's just like, I mean, because we've had catfishes before where the person who's doing the catfishing uses other people to be the voice behind the pictures. Because if they're one gender but are portraying themselves as the opposite gender, then and they know that they can't pull off the opposite gender's typical kind of sounding voice. Like if you're a girl pretending to be a guy, um, and you can't do a guy's voice, you either not talk on the phone, or you'll have somebody else like a relative or a friend do the voice for you, um, and vice versa. But because we've seen like there's these like two best friends where this girl, when I think her father or a relative had passed away suddenly, started being a little bit wild and drinking and partying a lot, and her best friend, created this like guy, um, this cute guy, and started talking to her as this guy. And whenever her friend wanted to talk on the phone, she would get her cousin to come on the phone to talk to her friend so that she wouldn't become depressed and go down a dark hole again. So, so we've seen that happen before. So it's not like um, it hasn't happened before. But anyway, so um, Brian then leaves Zoom, sends the info to Nev and Kamie, and then they begin their search with the photos. Nothing comes up with the photos that they search. They then search Stephanie up on Facebook and immediately get a hit. I mean, it says she works at McDonald's instead of being a nurse, a traveling nurse. And the profile hasn't really been used since 2013, so um, it makes sense why Cammy always felt like the pictures um, looked old and stuff like that. Then they look Isaac up on Facebook. Lo and behold, he's from the same exact city as the Stephanie profile that they found. Um, and I'm just like, look, at every turn, it looks like this dude is the one behind the photos in the whole persona. Um, so Neve leaves Isaac a message, and he gets a message right back. Isaac jumps into the Zoom, which looks promising, but I believe we've had previous catfishes from last year who, or in last year's episodes, who got on the Zoom call. It turns out they're pretending to be that they weren't catfishers. But it turns out they actually were the catfishers. Um, so Neve explains that things, and you know what struck me as funny is that this dude is literally wearing sunglasses in the car when the sun's not even beat on his fucking face. It's like, why the hell are you wearing fucking sunglasses? Are you trying to make it look like? Are you trying to hide your eyes? Because when people lie, they tend to do perceptible, like imperceptible, or like small little things with their eyes, like look around, like look dark their eyes, or squirt their eyes or whatever. Just do small little things with their eyes that will give them their eyes away. So that's why I think that he wore those sunglasses, because it's like, come on now, come on. So and then he claims, he and Stephanie met at a party, at an apartment complex 10 years before, and it's like, look, the math ain't math, because she's supposed to be 22, and so 10 years before she would have been 12. What fucking 12-year-old is out here going to house parties at 12 fucking years old? I don't get it. Like, that doesn't make, like, and even Kim, like, picked up on that shit after Isaac had left. It's like, what the hell? Like, who, like, he clearly his um story isn't straight, and he didn't think it through, because it's like come on, like, if we're catching shit 2 seconds into Brian explaining things at the beginning of the episode, then it's just like, come on, you bring out the entire curve, Brian. There's no way you cannot believe, you cannot find out, like, there's like ugh. Anyway, so he, claims she has a cell phone, she's in town at a hotel now, and it's just like, child, he's fucking lying. There was no way he wasn't lying. And I felt it in my soul the second that we, like 2 seconds into Brian explaining things with how he met Stephanie was through Isaac and shit. I'm like, ugh. So Isaac is like, well, I'll reach out to her because I don't want to give her her phone number if she really doesn't want it out there. Which, okay, that I could understand, because it's like, I mean, if I wanted someone to have my phone number, I'd have given it to them by now. I'd be like, no, I'm not comfortable giving you my phone number. Like we just met. I don't want to give you my phone number when um, we just met and all that kind of stuff. I can understand that part, but like, I mean, child, I'm just saying. Um, so Isaac gets off the Zoom. Um, and I was like, Kim, because I was like, I don't trust him for fucking shit. Because he was like, I don't trust him for shit. And I was like, girl, I feel you, because I don't trust him for shit either. I didn't trust him for shit either at that point. I was like, nah. So Neve has this brilliant idea of looking up the hotel Isaac said that she's staying at, contacts him to see if there's a Stephanie as a guest there, and apparently there is. Um, but the phone just keeps ringing and ringing and ringing, and there's um, no one's picking up. So they get Brian back in the Zoom call, or Zoom chat or whatever. Tells him what they found, um, and sends Isaac a message, um, to uh, let them know if he got in touch with Stephanie and all of that. So they leave the Zoom call, and later that night, Neve gets a phone call from Stephanie and finds out during the beginning of their conversation, he calls Kamie so that way she can listen to the conversation. So she's listening in while Neve and Stephanie talk. She's like, well, look, um, I'm in a relationship, and I thought that um, what me and Brian had was just flirtation, and it wasn't anything serious, and I thought he knew that, and yada yada yada, and I'm not buying any of this shit. And it's like, I'm just like, if, um, and I'm just like, I'm not buying it. It's like, I feel like she would have told him if she was in a relationship. Like, there's no way. She seems like an attractive person. She looks like an attractive person. So why wouldn't she not tell him that she's in a relationship? I mean, I don't know. None of it made sense to me. So she's like, well, I have a family, and I don't want to want to put them at risk. And so she's like, I need to think about it. So she hangs up and all that stuff. So the next day, um, you know, Nev and Kamie got on a Zoom call, and as they're talking, he gets or before they had gone to the Zoom call, he got a text from her, telling him that, here's her number, and, never call, just text, and all this crap. And so, um, they get Brian back in the Zoom, tell him of the conflict they had the night before, and a text message that morning. He texts Stephanie to, see if she'd be, willing to get on a Zoom call. She does, but the only thing that they see is everything from the neck down. Um, and the next thing you know, she's like standing up, and like she starts saying what she said to me the night before. It's like, I just wanted vacation. I'm actually married. I didn't want this to go too far. And then she's like, you know what, fuck this. I'm not doing this anymore. You know what, this is not what I signed up for or whatever. And she's like, well, I need to speak to Nev and Kamie alone. So they shove Brian into a private Zoom, where it's just him in there. And then, that way they can talk probably with Stephanie. Turns out, yes, it was fucking Isaac. And I'm like, look, anyway, so he comes in and says, well, I'm behind the whole thing. And the woman that was on the Zoom before was just a friend. Um, even the voice was me. I was just off to the side so you wouldn't see I was there. And so he proves that it was him making the voice all along. Um, so Nev then tells Isaac, you know what, I did call the hotel after we talked to you the day before to, see if there was actually Stephanie there, and they put me through to somebody or to a room. So Isaac says, well, I work here at the hotel, and so I just created a guest, in the system, so that way, um, I guess in the off chance that someone called the hotel or whatever, um, so Isaac's starting to say shit like, well, I'm in an open relationship, because, when they checked Isaac out, he was in a relationship. He saw that he's in a relationship on Facebook. So he's like saying, well, I'm in an open relationship, and I feel like love is love no matter what. And I just want Isaac to be in a relationship with me, even though, I'm happily in a relationship with somebody else, and I just want him to love me for me. And King starts saying, well, look, you can't deceive someone and then expect them to want to be in a relationship with you when you reveal your true self, because you're not actually being truthfully yourself, like completely 100% yourself. Yeah, your personality might be the same, but you're deceiving people by showing, like, by using different pictures. But because using somebody else's pictures is not 100% real, because you're that's not what you actually look like. So how he's not grasping that shit is stupid. I mean, yeah, the personality may be you, but the pictures aren't, and that's the deceiving part. And it's just like, throw this whole fucker away, please. I am so tired. And he's like, well, I've done this before, where I catfish as a woman, or I've played as my pictures were of a woman, but my personality was the same, and I've gotten straight guys to want to be in relationships with me. And it's like, well, first of all, if you managed to get a straight guy to be in a relationship with another man, they weren't straight to begin with, sweetie. They were not. They were anything but fucking straight. They were at the very least bisexual, not gay. I'm just saying. Because if they were truly straight, they would not have gotten into a relationship with a man. If they were truly straight, I'm just saying. They would have been like, fuck this shit, and ghosted your ass. They would have. No true straight man would be okay with another man using pictures as another woman and pretending to be a woman. And you're like, you didn't even use your real name. Like, you didn't use your real name or your real pictures. So it's like, fuck, dude, make it make sense. None of this is making any sense. Like, it's just like, ugh, throw him away and get him off my damn screen because I am tired. I am tired. Anyway, so they do some kumbaya shit and off screen afterwards, and he Brian forgives um, uh, Isaac and yada yada yada. And it's just like, I could, that would not be me. That would not be me. So anyway, next time there's this girl April. She sounds like she's from another country, but I couldn't quite tell. But she's been talking to this guy named Daryl, and she's never talked to him on the phone or FaceTimed him. So that to me tells me she's talking to another woman. Because if she's not even talking to this Daryl guy on the phone, that means typically the person behind the photos is actually the same gender as the person they're catfishing, and so they don't want to, and they're not confident enough to be on the phone and um, try to sound like the opposite gender that they're portraying themselves as, and stuff like that. So I'm assuming it's another woman. Maybe it's going to be a relative this time again, because I don't think we've had a catfisher who was a family member catfishing a family member in a while. Or maybe it's another friend again. I don't know. But anyway, see you guys next week.